We are going to talk about resilience in more detail, but just to give you a brief overview to start off with, career resilience is really about being able to deal with the challenges that you face, dealing with those effectively and efficiently, being able to make steps that move you forward. So take heart, you have dealt with 100% of the challenges that you've faced so far, whether those are personal or professional. You are at the point that you are right now, so you have dealt with them. Whether you think about those positively or negatively, that's another question, but you should remember, and the overriding feeling should be remembering that you have dealt with them, so you can deal with whatever you're going through right now, even though it might feel challenging. But take care of yourself first. If you're not feeling up to starting this right now, then that's okay, and you cannot pour from an empty cup. So if there are other things that you're dealing with that you need to sort first, then think about your own health first. Think about some of these feelings or thoughts or words that come up when we discuss resilience. It could be self-control, it could be willpower, it could be determination, being able to move forward, being motivated, maintaining motivation. That can be a little bit more difficult for people because it feels like a barrier when there's something kind of comes in your way. You might feel that you are at a roadblock, and that might be how you're feeling right now. It could be determination, so the ability to be able to push through that if you are struggling with something. Focus and resolve, but also working smart instead of working hard. So working hard is this idea that you put in more hours, you put in more time, that's actually going to be better. That means that you've done more, when actually working smart could be the best way to go. It could be that you just put in 4 applications instead of that 100 that you have worked hard on, you've worked for more time on. So the truth is, resilience is all or none of those words. It is a combination of different things. Really comes though from a place of personal insight. So it's your knowledge, it's your experiences, it's the way that you've dealt with challenges before, and the coping mechanisms that you have developed as a result of that. So really, resilience means something very different to everybody, and it really does depend on your current circumstances. For some people, resilience is being able to kind of make all of those very determined career steps. For some people, it's literally being able to kind of make the move out of your room that day. So think about your own personal situation and how you're feeling and how the things that you've gone through have affected you, and give yourself, cut yourself some slack. It doesn't mean enduring without help, and a lot of people do think of resilience as this ability to be able to just do everything yourself. If you do need support, please ask for it. You can ask for it here in the course, or you could ask a friend or family member, or if you need support, additional support, please do seek it elsewhere. You might not think of procrastination as being intrinsically linked with resilience, but we're just going to give you a little bit of an overview now of how you can actually train your mind to give you this willpower, the determination, all of those things that we've just talked about. And procrastination is a huge part of that. There's a lot of different reasons why people procrastinate. It might be that you just can't face it. For some people, it's that they are actually a perfectionist and that they just can't stand the idea of not being able to do something perfectly, and so they don't start. So think about procrastination as being, you can actually teach your brain when it's not acceptable to lose concentration. So if you're finding you keep saying to yourself, I don't have the time to look for a job, I don't have the time to research that trip of a lifetime I want to do, this can be a negative thinking pattern that you've gotten yourself into just purely because of your circumstances. So think about procrastination in that way, that it is actually something you can control. You can set yourself small goals that help you to achieve small steps that can push you forward. Understand what's distracting you, understand where it's coming from. So if you do want to take steps forward, but you're finding that you keep getting to this roadblock and you don't know why, sit down and think about it. What is distracting you? Is it that you're home and there's all these different noises happening in your house? Your brother's got the TV on, or your sister is on the phone, or there's all kinds of different things that might be like that. Or it could be that you're constantly checking your social media and you're seeing what other people are doing, and that's actually chipping away at your confidence and your resolve for your own plans. So just really think about it. What is it that's distracting you? And start small. You know, if you're looking at doing an application, start small. Concentrate for 5 minutes and then give yourself 5 minutes break. Concentrate for 10 minutes, give yourself 10 minutes break. And then slowly over time you'll actually be able to concentrate for 30 minutes, give yourself a couple of minutes break. And that's not to sound condescending. You've done this throughout your entire student life. You've set and met goals. But it can feel a little bit more like a chore when you're trying to look for a job or find that next step in your career that you're trying to do. And make sure that you concentrate on one thing at a time. So humans are not very good at multitasking, so make sure that you're concentrating on your application, giving yourself a set amount of time to do that. Choose something to concentrate on occasionally if you're finding that actually you're struggling with this, because you might be able to just refocus your mind by taking a couple of deep breaths and thinking about your breathing, which we don't do. It might be that you look out the window and you kind of refocus your eyes, which is always a recommended thing if you're working with a screen anyway. But think about things that might be able to actually help you to keep your focus by, identifying them before you start. Schedule yourself breaks and indulgences as well. You don't have to sit at your desk for 8 hours. If you're unemployed currently and you're sitting at your desk thinking, for 8 hours I'm going to write these applications, I'm going to find all of these different things, that's that work hard that we were talking about. If you work smart, maybe you could do that in 2 or 3 hours and actually find that you get more done because you're focused for those 2 or 3 hours. These kind of focused positive habits can really, really help you. They can develop your willpower, they can make you think a little bit differently. We've got a fantastic little video below of an experiment, a fantastic experiment, which looks at little children and the psychology behind being able to put off actually having what you want right now and being able to kind of focus for a little bit longer. And it's a really interesting, cute little video, so take a look at that one.